to the gods most of the time expecting something in return. We don't, because they don't ask for that. They don't need us to give offering. They don't need us at all, really. We give it to them for something called reciprocity. Now, reciprocity is something within heathenry and within Germanic paganism from Germania
What a
that
dork.
I say during my offerings. I
Let
talk to
me
them like they're my
in.
friends. And I only do offerings 3 times a year to the gods. 3 times. But I also pray to Odin on a daily basis.
Oh, praise to
So
Odin.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
We was Vikings and shit.
But there are lots of different ways to approach the gods too.
We was Vikings.
Like I make daily offerings to the gods.
We make
And
daily offerings.
special- I do every.
They send me my asthma medication. Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, great. So, I've been trying to move away from Christianity myself because of how cucked the religion has really become, in my opinion. But, I really move more towards the old pagan gods like Zeus and the Greek gods. Why do you think I should prefer the Norse gods?
I have an argument for this.
Okay.
I want you to take away. Please allow me a moment to run down some logical pathways. So I am privy to the Greek cosmology. It's part of my theology classes. So the Greek cosmology, the only ones that are morally based on our modern morality, good, right, are the demigods.
Well, what is good? Well, wait, what does good mean here?
I'm getting in. I'm getting into it. Just give me a moment, please.
Okay.
I'm not trying. So I want to clarify. I'm not trying to attack what you are interested in.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
no
trying
problem. I just wanted to get clarification, so.
Yeah, for sure. So based on our modern morality is what I'm saying, right? And based on the morality of the period as well, when we had the Greek gods coming in. So now we can look at the stories. Zeus was essentially a rapist. Most of the Greek pantheon, the male gods in the Greek pantheon, take what they want, right?
Yeah, but I
Also,
mean,
we have-
didn't Loki turn into a horse and rape another horse?
No, he enticed the horse to impregnate him, right?
Uh-huh.
So then the wall could be built. It was consensual.
I mean, do
essentially.
you think that that's a moral good?
Well, that's a good question. I hate Loki. That's my own practice. But I think based on so my argument for the Nordic pantheon is if it has a utility in the cosmology to stave something off or to protect us from something worse, right? That could happen, then yes, that is a moral good, right? So for example, if Loki did not do that, right, we wouldn't have Freya, right? Because Freya would have been taken as his bride, and that would have been not good because without Freya, the cosmology wouldn't be linear.
Well, I'm just curious. I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to get some clarification on your positions, if you don't mind, real quick. So when you say utility, I don't understand why you would move towards utility. Yeah, I'm not actually sure why you move towards utility for the purpose of what is good or bad for the Norse gods.
Right, or their own wants.
Well, I guess that's not really my
When we go into
question.
the Nordic pantheon.
I'm sorry, that's not actually
I'm getting
my question is what is utility from your perspective from the gods? So I guess what I'm asking isn't if they do things which you consider to have utility, but what you consider utility to be.
But something that has a utility, right? That has a direct positive impact on something.
Yeah, but
right?
that's these are subjective metrics though. Like if you when you say when you so why would you need a god for subjective metric at all?
Well, because that's what the cosmology demands.
The cosmology demands that you use a subjective metric for what is good.
Yeah. So the gods themselves are a are I guess you could say, catalyst for the utility, right? Because they make the action, right? And based on that action, we can come to the assumption based on the cause and effect, what, whether that outcome is morally good or morally bad, right? Based on modern morality, right?
Why would you? Well, I'm sorry. Why would you use modern moral standards for good or bad for utility based on Norse gods? I actually don't understand this.
Why is that? I
Well,
think I'm being.
well,
I think I'm being
I
pretty
don't
concise.
actually understand the principle. Why would you need the gods at all to just uphold the standard of subjective morality? I don't
All right, so
understand.
this is gonna be a little long-winded.
Okay.
I will answer it fully. I think I'm being pretty concise here. So just let me finish here.
Okay.
So we can take a couple of different examples from the lore. So we can go into the birth of Vidar, right? Vidar, right? This is something that a lot of Lokians and a lot of other people from other faiths see as morally bad. Now, me, however, I acknowledge that it is not the best action, but it has its utility, right? So Odin, however, he goes and he says, well, I need this son to be born. Him knowing his ultimate fate and what needs to happen for Ragnarok, he goes to a giantess and he says, lay with me, right? And he knows Vidar is going to be born from this giantess. And she says, no. So what does he do? He goes and he finds a seeress, right? And he says, I need you to I need you to go to this giantess and then turn me into a woman, and we will bewitch her, and then she will lay with me. And then Vidar is born. Now, if you know the function in the cosmology that Vidar has, right? He avenges Odin at Ragnarok, right? Therefore, unaliving Fenrir and making it so everything can be renewed for Midgard, the place that we call home, right? So it can be repopulated, right? That's the utility. It's an ultimate good utility. The ends justify the means,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
So
not actually even
that
disputing
is
the lore.
a good based on what happens for cause and effect,
Yeah,
right?
I'm not disputing the lore or
If
what you could see as being utility from the lore. What I'm asking specifically is if you have a subjective metric for what is good, meaning utility, whatever you think that is, the ultimate good, uh, and it's a subjective metric, why do you need to base that on gods at all? Couldn't anybody just have the same basic subjective metric that you do? What would be the incentive to follow the gods?
Well, the incentive to follow the gods is essentially, well, heathenism and Asatru go into a very wishy-washy kind of kind of area, because each person, I don't agree with this. Each person has their own structure that they structure their practice based off of. The majority of heathens believe in the gods because a majority of heathens are military, right? And they don't have to feel bad for their actions that they cause in the military, right? There's also the whole idea of dying in battle and stuff like that, which I don't essentially agree with. Most of us are going to Helheim. The incentive to believe in the gods is essentially, well, I can reside in this place after I pass away, right? Helheim sounds like a great place, right?
Well, do you
And
literally believe in these gods?
well, I'm a hard polytheist.
Yeah, I mean, so you literally believe they exist?
I'm a hard polytheist. I can tell you my premise, but for why I believe they exist, yes.
Yeah, well, I guess I just want to make sure I get this clarified. You're saying yes, you believe these gods literally exist?
Yeah, I do, on the basis of energy, and there's some scientific backing for this.
Okay. Okay. Well, hang on. I don't or you don't even have to dive into that. I just want to make sure I get this clear. So, if these gods have a subjective metric for morality and you have a subjective metric for morality, will you do things which you consider to be moral that you think would go against these gods' morality?
So, my moral doctrine, if you read the topics that are up there, my moral doctrine is I live by the Havamal. I have. I was. I've been raised in Asatru. That's what I grew up with. That's what I was taught. I live my life by the Havamal. I always have. I would give it a read. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd do anything against the Havamal. I don't think I'd do that. I know.
If you did do anything against it, would that be morally bad?
Well, we can look at the morality of like what you're not supposed to do in the Nordic belief system. We can look at that for a second if you'd like.
Or are you allowed to be a homosexual in the Nordic belief system?
Well, yeah, our ancestors had bisexual orgies to Freya.
Okay. So, and are you a supporter of that?
I am.
Okay. So, let's say other pagans who they executed people in the LGBTQ. I mean, that's true. They did. German tribes especially did. Were they?
Citation.
Yeah, were they doing something that was morally?
Citation.
What?
I need a citation for that.
Well, I mean, did you think that I would have that handy while I did like a random call?
Well, I did expect you to become prepared.
Yeah, I did. Well, I just told you, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to have a citation ready. You haven't given me a citation for anything you've said.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, you haven't physically given it to me, no. So what I'm saying to you is this. Assuming that there were at least some, you wouldn't dispute that there were at least some tribes which did this practice.
Yes, I would agree.
Okay. So were they doing something morally wrong?
Okay, really quick, dude. I have a question for you. So I don't understand. So do you have a specific narrative you're trying to push here?
Well, I'm saying that I think that the Greek gods are superior to the Norse gods, and one of the ways that I think I can demonstrate this is by showing that you have an inconsistent moral foundation, and that your moral foundation is actually secular. It's a secular belief structure and utility rather than in these gods.
You're muted. So I've heard this.
Well, why did you mute me when I was explaining? Why don't you let me get my position out?
This is a dictatorship. Hold on.
You're not going to let me get my position out?
Hold on, please. I'm trying to be respectful. I wanted to cut you off.
It's not respectful to not let me get my position out.
Okay, hold on a second, dude. I'm really trying to say something. Hold on. Please be patient. I wanted to stop you there. So the argument of superiority, right, doesn't go very far if we use the gas station analogy. Now, the gas station analogy is something that we use in the academic sphere to understand different polytheistic pre-Christian belief systems, right? So the polytheistic belief system and the gas station analogy basically goes like this, right? So let's say Thor goes to Greece, right? Or Zeus goes to Scandinavia or Norway, right? And they see him, and they would understand him to be Zeus, right? They would understand him to have the characteristics that they are used to within their society, right? Therefore, making every single god and every single pantheon and every single moral doctrine within every pantheon just as valid as every other one, right? And everybody's belief is just as valid, right? And I think what you're trying to say, right, is that you're putting yourself on this moral high ground that you essentially have to put yourself on because you have to feel better than somebody, right? Which I think is logically inconsistent with your pantheon, right? Or maybe it is because I've come across a multitude of different Greco-pagans, and they are, however, not the most savory people. I know a few that are, but with that comment...
Well, I mean, that was an ad hom, by the way.
It wasn't an ad hom.
It was.
It wasn't an ad hom.
It was.
It was understanding of your community.
No, that was an ad hominem. You were literally arguing with this thing that you built up as a personal attack, not with me.
Okay. It was my understanding of your community and who resides in it.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
Okay. Well, let me move. Can we move back to this discussion without you entailing your personal feelings as to whether or not you speculate that I need to feel superior or things like this? That's all nonsense. Has nothing to do with the argument.
You're grandstanding. You're literally grandstanding.
Well, no, I'm asking if we can have this discussion absent you, going after whatever your personal opinions are. Those are irrelevant for the purpose of the argument.
Go after with my personal opinions. What I went after what I went after specifically was I used the gas station analogy, which disproves your superiority argument.
Well, okay. So, if that's true, then you're actually saying that your gods are not superior to my own.
And your gods are not superior to my own.
Well, then, if that's true, which of our moral system should we go with?
Whichever one you choose.
So then, your moral system's no better than mine.
Precisely.
So would it be moral then for all of the Greek pagans to conquer all of the Norse pagans?
I mean, if I don't think that would happen modern day.
Yeah, that's not my question.
I don't think that would happen.
Yeah, my question's not whether or not it would happen.
I don't do whataboutisms. I don't do whataboutisms.
It's not a whataboutism. It's a hypothetical to test your morality. Would it be moral for all of the Greek pagans to conquer all of the Norse pagans by your own statement of morality being equal?
Bad faith. It's a bad faith question.
Answer the question.
It's a question in bad faith. I don't answer bad faith
questions. What's bad faith about it?
You're trying to trap me.
Because it's your logic.
You're trying to trap
It's
me.
your logic. It's your logic.
You're trying to trap me.
With your own logic? If I trap you with your own logic, that's bad faith?
I take debate classes. I know how this works. You're trying to trap me by asking.
You trapped yourself, bro. This is the entailment of your argument. So just answer the question.
Dude, I've seen you in other pagan lives, and I now know why you're blocked from a good majority of them.
I'm not blocked from any of them.
You're trying to trap me with this moral superiority argument, and you're trying to trap me with this morality argument when I just said that your morality is no better than mine, and my
right. That's the point,
though.
No better than but that's the point. So then the entailment of that is.
I'm still talking.
Yeah, but why don't you just answer to the entailment? I'll answer any of your questions. Oh God!
I just acknowledged that my morality is no better than yours, right? And yours is no better than mine, right? And your gods are no better than mine, right? It's all about which ancestral religion you adhere to more, right? Now, to your question, the reason why I'm not answering it is because you're trying to trap me to answer something, right, that I would not normally answer, right, to prove your point, right?
Yeah, that's called a debate.
Yeah, you're trying to. It's a bad faith debate.
No, that's a good faith. That's good faith.
What a good debate is a healthy discourse conversation.
Bro, what was bad faith about what I asked? Honestly.
So you're asking a whataboutism that has no utility.
No, it wasn't a what about. It was a hypothetical.
What if? What if?
Yeah, that's a hypothetical.
It's a whataboutism.
What is a hypothetical?
You're also shotgun gaslighting.
What is a hypothetical?
What is a hypothetical?
Yeah.
Something that didn't ever happen. It's a hypothetical situation.
Yeah. Does it need to map onto reality? And can you use a what about situation for the purpose of a hypothetical?
It does. It does need to map onto reality.
No, it doesn't. A hypothetical does not need to map onto reality. That's insanity. Where do you take debate classes? From a Cracker Jack box?
All right, dude. I mean, I'm not going to address that. But, Andrew, I really do think that you can have your moral superiority, and that's great. That's fantastic for you. If you think that your gods are superior to mine, that's great. That's awesome. I'm glad you love the Greek pantheon so much. I really am happy for you, right? And I think that if you love it so much, that you should continue to practice what you practice, right? I don't want to leave this conversation on a negative note. However, you will not be coming back up here again, but I wish you the best of luck in all of your endeavors.
Well, that's some Norse cowardice right there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure.
How Viking of you to be like, oh, I lost the debate. You could never come back.
Okay, I'm pretty sure, Andrew, that my people would slaughter the Greek people. They slaughtered the Romans, so you can get the fuck out of my life now. All right.
Now, the cope.
He was an asshole.
The cope is the best part.
He won't be back up here again.
That's why I'm agnostic. I don't believe in any morality.
The cope. I gotta hear the cope.
Yeah, that was extra. I don't know why he kept trying to do the same thing over and over again.
He was trying to trap me, and I wasn't gonna let him.
Try to trap you with your logic. Oh, come on, dude. Oh, they fucking blocked me for real. Oh.